Just like Ford brought us the Heritage Edition a couple years ago for the Bronco and the Bronco Sport, we now have the Freewheeling Edition, which pays homage to the late 70s, early 80s trim package. And it was offered on a few select vehicles. Now, before you run away, because maybe this isn't your taste, this is the same as a regular Bronco Sport. It's just a big bend with a designer package on it. So you can still get your information for those regular Bronco Sports right here, so don't leave. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about what is on this freewheeling package, and then we'll just get into the Bronco Sport. Let's talk about the front first. So we've got a silver grille going across here, white Bronco letters with a red backing to them, or outlined, if that's what you want to call that. And then you go up here and we've got this stripe down the hood. And you got a little silver Bronco right in here. You'll notice that the silver takes a big part of this whole scheme here. So we go down to the wheels. Now you've got red painted inside of the wheels with a silver machined face. You have a small little silver piece here. You've got the stripes going all the way down the side. And you have it written in silver, a Bronco. Handles are silver also. And I still like the way that goes over the door, gas door. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. Come around here and you have a silver plate in the back with those same white and red lettering. And same thing around this outside. We go to the inside. You have silver covering there. You've got a little Bronco plate right there. And in the back of the seats, you have the red to yellow coloring. You've got red around the bezel, around the infotainment screen, and it goes up and all the way around to the other side. And then you have red in the doors also, and that does carry on to the back. Same with the seats. Here's a little better look at the red on the doors, and you have red stitching in here. You have multicolor stitching on these seats here and on the armrest. Guys, that's really about it for what's on the freewheeling. Basically, it's just a appearance package. So let me know down in the comments if you like this appearance package. Now this is in black. This is shadow black. The gray I think looks pretty decent too. This black is probably the best looking one with these colors on it. The cactus gray I am not a big fan of with these colors. I think it just throws a little bit too much color going on there. But anyway, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this, and is it something you would purchase? All right, now let's talk about what is powering this Bronco Sport freewheeling. This Bronco Sport comes with a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder turbo EcoBoost engine with 181 horsepower and 190 pound-feet of torque. You get an 8-speed automatic transmission and 0 to 60 in around 8 seconds. Towing comes in at around 2,000 pounds. Fuel economy, you're looking at 25 in the city, 29 in the highway, or an average of 26 miles per gallon. Now let's take a look at the cargo space. Now back here, the rear window does open, if you didn't know that. So you can pop that window open. And if you look, you can't see anything right here. But when that window is open, if you look up underneath here, there is a little Bronco. A little Bronco Sport right there. All right. Now we'll go down, we'll hit the door. This does not come with a powered lift gate. And right there, you are looking at about 35.5 cubic feet of space. Now, it is a good amount of space, a decent amount of space. I don't want to say good, a decent amount. You do have a light for back in here, which is pretty cool. You got some tie-down spots right here. This one has the mat. There is some extra space underneath it. What do we got? Oh, we actually have, hey, look at that, full size. A full size spare. That's awesome. All right, way to go. I haven't seen that in a while. And then you do have a few other little things. You got some 12-volt plug back here, and we've got some more little grocery holders right there. So now let's drop those second row seats and see what they look like. Now, I don't know if you can do it from here. Yeah, we've got buttons right up here. I think we can just drop them right from here. Maybe if the seats were cooperating. All right, down. That one goes down. Have to move that front seat up. Now you have 65.2 cubic feet of space. Now that is a large amount of space. We owned one of these Bronco Sports a while ago, so we have a lot of videos on our channel for this. My wife actually slept back here without any problems, so there is a decent amount of room back here. It's crazy how small this looks on the outside, but it's so big on the inside. Outside, small, and inside, really big. It's gonna take me a second to put these seats back up. So would you go down and hit the subscribe button? It really helps out, helps me get more cars just like this Bronco Sport freewheeling, some of the other cars that are on the channel. That all comes from subscribers, it comes from you guys, and I wanna bring you guys more cars, better cars. So hit the subscribe button, and then I will meet you on the inside. So here's your door. You do have the red and orange stitching in the armrest here. You have this red piece going around here. And then you've got a small little door pocket there and your speaker right there. In this one, the driver's side is powered, the passenger side is not. This also has lumbar. You do have fabric seats here. Now, these are not bolstered very well, so it kind of feels like a pretty flat seat when you're sitting in it. You got a little bit here, but it's not enough to feel it. And because it's fabric, it smashes down pretty well. These are bolstered a little bit better, but it's really not going to hold you in place if you do take this off-roading. Now you do have the color pattern here in the seat, and you do have the red stitching going around the headrest. Now the headrest is really nice. It's leather on the outside. This is leather on the back side also. Okay, let's hop in here and I will show you all the goodies. I like these vents because they just have a little on-off right here, and then they can move back and forth, up and down. They're pretty nice. Now this, I like this fabric-y material. This is interesting to me. I really like it, but this is soft. This is actually soft. You can push on it. That's pretty good. This is harder plastic down here, which is not a big deal. It's just a glove box, but look at the size of that glove box. Glove box is huge, and it doesn't have a bunch of crap in it. So you don't have like giant manuals and everything, because Ford puts everything online. It's actually all in your infotainment screen. Then you do have a speaker up here on the dash, and this red trim goes all the way around here, up above, and all the way around your driver's display also. I like this little tray right here. Joe Rady'd call that a Twinkie tray, probably. I am actually going to say I would probably set my cell phone up in there, because this does have wireless, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Now, I have not been using it that much because they always seem to drain your phone pretty well. Even if you have it plugged in charging, it barely keeps up. And I didn't really need to use it. So I've just been wiring it in and using Bluetooth to play my music. Here is your driver's display. And most of your information is going to be in this little square box up here. So you can cycle through multiple different things. If you press up on the right side of the steering wheel, I'll show you those buttons in a minute. So there is your info button. Then you have your phone, music, compass, your driver assistant, your favorites, whatever you have in your favorites, and this one just happens to be set on the mile per gallon, and then you can go to your full trip information. Now you click the menu button, you can go trip 1, which is what we're set on, and then you go to trip 2. You can actually configure the view, so if you don't want the trip odometer, you don't want one of these on here, you can have a trip timer can be added, and that's about it. All right, go back. So that's what you can do in the center display. Of course, down at the bottom, you have your temperature and your fuel gauge. And then on the left side, your RPMs, right side, your speedometer. But at the top, you can see this has 3,000 miles on it so far. All right, that is all of that. Now, we're going to pan back to the steering wheel. Now, this is a typical Ford steering wheel. It's the same steering wheel I've been using in the Bronco Sports over the years and other vehicles. So, right side is all of your menu and controls everything that you see up in that display. Also controls your phone or your music and your voice recognition. And then on the left side is all of your driver assistance features, and this one was optioned with lane centering and adaptive cruise. And then we go over here to this infotainment screen. Now this, I believe, is the Sync 3. It might be Sync 4. I haven't really checked on that, and maybe we can find that out. Let's go into apps, no, settings, valet, voice control, general. Go into general, we'll go down here at bottom, about sync. Yes, this is the Sync 3 system. So this doesn't have the Sync 4 in it yet. We're going to go back here, and you can see there's the buttons for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You've got your sound for your stereo, your clock, your Bluetooth, and all of that stuff. Here's your driver assistance features. Whoops, a little too fast. So you have intelligent cruise control. If you don't know the difference between normal, adaptive, intelligent, and then you have a tolerance. So normal is you have to slow down for cars that are in your way and turn it back on, all of that stuff. Adaptive basically means that it will slow down and speed up according to the traffic that you're driving with. Intelligent means not only will it speed up and slow down with the traffic you're in, but it'll also speed up and slow down with the speed limit. So if it's 55, it will speed you up to 55 or slow you down to 55. If the next one is 45, it will slow you down to 45. Now, you can set a tolerance in there. I have the tolerance set 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. That means that when it sees a sign that says 55 miles per hour, it is going to speed me up to 60 miles per hour. It's going to always be 5 miles per hour over. So you can set that to whatever you want. You have lane keep assist, and then you also have lane centering, and then you have the speed sign recognition. You can turn that on or off. It will basically just flash if you're going over the speed limit or not. And then you have blind spot monitoring, trailer sway, a lot of information, a lot of stuff there. So then we go into vehicle. Whoops, I double clicked it. Okay, so you have a max of a 30-minute idle. You can turn on your rear occupant alert. I always shut it off because I don't have anyone ever in the back seat of my car. Remote start setup. This is where you can set up your wipers so you can have like an extra courtesy wipe on, or turn the rear one on when you back up. You also can go to your lighting. You have automatic high beams, daytime running lights. You can turn those on or off, and then you have your delay on your lamps. And then at the bottom you have locks, and that will be auto unlock. And then you can also intelligent access, remote unlock, all doors. That's what I always set it on. And that's it. Display, go in here. You can change your background, your brightness. It's set on auto for when it gets dark. That's basically it. There's really not a whole lot of other things you can do in here. So that's all for that. Now we're going to go back, and right here is an important button for everyone. Here's your auto start stop. You can turn that off. And then you have volume. What is this? Oh, your sound settings. That button will pop up your sound settings. So that's a quick button there. You can actually shut the whole screen off, basically to a calm screen, but or shut it completely off. All right. And then other than that, it's just all of your regular stereo controls. And then we come down here and you have your climate control, which is really nice because I like having the buttons for the climate control. You got your fan speed, and then you have 3 levels of auto, which is good because it does blow a lot differently than some of the other ones. Sometimes you turn it on 1 and you turn it on 3, and they seem like they're not doing much difference. So this also is equipped with heated seats. That was part of an option. And then you have your thermostat right here, and that will turn and show you up on the screen what you have it set on. Coming back, you do have a wireless phone charger right here and a small little cubby hole right there where I have the keys sitting. It's just a little spot. You have a 12 volt way up underneath here and USB-C and USB-A to connect your Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. I misspoke earlier. This is not a wireless Android Auto or an Apple CarPlay. It is a wired system. All right, coming on back, you have the traditional, dial shifter, if that's what you want to call that. You have an electronic parking brake, auto hold, 2 cup holders, which look like, I guess they're the same size. They look like they might have been different sizes, but you got a little espresso holder right here. Okay. G.O.A.T modes. So you do have a few G.O.A.T modes, and we'll go through those right now. So what you have is normal, eco, sport, slippery, and sand. Pointed this out earlier, but you have a Bronco freewheeling stamp right here, or badge, or whatever you want to call that. Come back here, you got your armrest and center console. It's actually pretty good size. So I have a little bit of camera equipment in there. I have a drink in there, and then I have my phone holder. And I can still put my arm in there about forearm depth. So pretty good. Okay. And you cannot forget, Ford has a sunglass holder right there. Would have been nice if some sunglasses popped out of there, but none did. All right, guys, that's it for the front. And if there's anything else that you guys ever want to know, just ask me in the comments and I will fill you in and get you the answers if I don't have them. Okay, now let's go hop in the back. I am about 6 foot tall. Let's see how well I fit back there. Like I said, we did own one of these at one time, and I thought it was decent back there. But let's go try it out and see how well I fit. Okay, let's see how I fit in here. Now, this door does not open very wide. I mean, it's a decent amount, but I would like to see it open a little bit farther than that. All right, driver's seat is in my driving position, and yes, I do have a decent amount of room. It's only about an inch or so, but that's okay. I mean, 2 fingers will be comfortable enough. I can even relax a little bit, and my knees just barely touch the seat. Headroom, though, my Lord, I have probably 6 inches above my head. That is amazing. Wow. I'm going to bring you in here and show you what's going on back here, because there are a few things back here. We'll go in. You can see that it did carry the red into the back, which is nice, and you do have that stitching that matches the front. Seats are the same way. You do have the stitching in the seats all the way around. Looks really nice. And then the color scheme on the seats also back here. In the back, you do have a map pocket right here. You have some things where you can hook into on the back. Then you have your vents here, and you do have USB-C and USB-A down at the bottom. You have cup holder there in the center. That's nice. And it's a good height. All right. That is all of the back. Okay, so you can see that there was a decent amount of room in the back of this thing. And I fit just fine, and I had headroom galore. I mean, it was just massive up there. So anyway, let's go hear about the pricing on this, and then we'll go take it for a drive. Pricing for the Bronco Sport. Now you're gonna start with the base model, which is the Big Bend now, because they dropped the base model from the lineup. So you start with the Big Bend, that's gonna be $29,795. Now, if you move up to the freewheeling, which is right here in front of you, that's gonna start at $32,395. That's still a very, very good price. But this one, with all of its options that they've added on to this thing, and there were a few and some that were pricey, this is gonna come in right at $37,695. We're gonna be able to do a 0 to 60 right here real quick. Ready? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna brake, torque it a little bit. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 40, 50, 60. So yeah, we are looking at around 8 seconds. That was not the best. It does a lot better whenever you just floor it. That, yeah, does a little bit better there. A little bit loud, but 3-cylinder engine, you can't really keep those things quiet and push a lot of power at the same time. This Bronco Sport was nothing new to me. Now this scheme, or this freewheeling scheme, this is not my cup of tea, but it is some people's cup of tea. I actually had someone stop me today and ask me, what is that? Where did you get it? And how much does it cost? What is in it? How much stuff does it have? Does it have heated seats? Does it have this and that? And I was like, those are all options if you want to choose those. So that is kind of up to you if that's something that you want. My thing is I'm not big on all the different colors. Now I like having the red on the doors, and I like having the red plastic around the infotainment screen and this whole little cockpit area. I think that is really cool. I'm really glad that they did that. I think that's nice. I think that's something that they should incorporate into other Bronco Sports, and maybe make it a color scheme for the paint that you have. So if you have a cactus gray or something like that, you get cactus gray plastic trim pieces in here. That would be pretty awesome, I think. That's where, as far as I would go with the color, probably. We owned a Bronco Sport for about 6 months, and it was a Big Bend. And we really did like it, and we kind of miss it sometimes. It was just easy to drive. You get in, you go. It just did what it was supposed to do. If we were going to do it again, we would have probably gotten the Badlands, or probably the Badlands, because I think the Badlands, the only thing it has is that 2.0 engine, and the 2.0 engine gets 250 horsepower. That would have been a lot better and give you a little more oomph in this. Now it does okay. It does what it's supposed to, and you can take this off-roading and it'll still do what it's supposed to do. It has enough power for that. It has enough torque for that. But if you feel that you just really want something a little sportier than that and a little more grunt, then that Badlands is, and the 2.0 engine is what you want. If you're going to lose some gas mileage, but honestly, the gas mileage in this 3-cylinder engine is not anything spectacular. It's 26 on the highway, and I have full-size SUVs that I have tested that have gotten 26. So, and they've got 4 cylinders and do just as well. So, I think there can be some improvement there. As for the comfort of driving this, it is pretty comfortable. I mean, I did drive it on our real world mile per gallon test, which is 100 miles. So, and I feel pretty good. Like I said, these seats do feel a little flat on the bottom, but they're not uncomfortable. They are still comfortable seats. and they do support you well. Lumbar in these are very, very good. The heat works really good in Ford seats, in case you didn't know that. But I from the first day that we had one of these and we drove it, we were very impressed with it, and I'm still impressed with this vehicle. The size on the inside is just amazing. I mean, I felt tighter in the Toyota Land Cruiser that I reviewed before this one. My knees felt like they were like really tight, and I didn't have enough room for my legs. And this one, I feel like I have plenty of room here. I don't feel cramped. And I'll bet you that there's only probably a couple inches different in the space here. But yeah, I just feel more comfortable in here. I haven't had any problems passing anybody. The ride feels good. It's stiff when it needs to be stiff. It's loose when it needs to be loose. It's going to have a little bit of body roll, basically because of the suspension is set up for off-roading either way. No matter what level you get, you're getting suspension that is tuned for the off-road because they expect you to take these off-road. So you're going to have a little bit of softer suspension so you can manipulate some of those trails and rock areas and things like that. It's just a great little crossover SUV. I mean, it does everything that it's supposed to do and more. So I don't think that you could go wrong getting one of these. My only suggestion is if you can get one with a 2.0 liter engine, which is probably going to be the Badlands, that's the way that I would go. And I think you probably should too. But you can't get that in the freewheeling. It's 1.5 liter. And that's all you have as an option. Well, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, go ahead, go down there, click that subscribe button, then click one of the videos that's up on the screen right now, because one of them is one that I chose for you, and the other one YouTube chose for you. I think you're going to like them both, so I will see you in that next video.